What a busy day. Found some stuff you like so far. Is there anything special that you've seen that you like the best? Because I have to tell you, what I have coming up is my favorite in the catalog. Although that fern is pretty awesome, isn't it? Um, let's see. I'm just gonna hold on and see if some people will tune in here. You know, I I'm using like my computer and I seem to have like a bad internet connection, but I'm grateful that it seems like my phone has a better connection than my computer does today. And I'm just going to hope that that remains the case. Yay! Okay, so I just want to talk to you about a couple things before we get started here. Do you all know I have a YouTube channel? If you go to YouTube and search My Stamping Spot, the videos today are being uploaded, although I have to say, because my connections are bad, it's painfully slow. But there's also some other videos there that I've done. We talked about joining as a demonstrator. If you have questions, reach out, let me know. $99 gets you $125 worth of product of your choice. They don't pick it for you. And you can pick a bundle this month only. How awesome is that? One thing we haven't talked about is the June Hostess Special. So this is pretty cool. If you host a workshop, and this will apply to my clubs as well, if you host a workshop and the workshop gets to $250, they will give you, Stampin' Up! Will give you an extra $25 to spend on top of the usual rewards, which would be 10%. So if you had a $250 order, or although if you have a $250 order, we might want to talk about you signing up to be a demonstrator, but we can discuss that. But if you had a $250 order, you would get the 10%, which would be $25 plus the bonus $25. So you could get $300 worth of product for $250. Also, if you want to host an event similar to this, not quite as all day long and all encompassing and consuming, we could host a workshop for you. You could, invite some of your friends, and, normally we do these things in person, but it's a virtual world, right? So if you might be interested in hosting a workshop and having your friends attend virtually, we can either just pick a window time, or I could just do posts during the day, and you can invite your friends and we could try to get them to interact that way. So, some fun stuff going on. But again, that's only the month of June. I wanted to reiterate, my Christmas club has seemed to be popular. So thank you very much to those of you that have subscribed. I'm very excited. It's the first time I've ever done one of these. I've done Stamp-A-Stacks a lot in October, November, December, and they're usually very well attended. And although I am hoping and praying that by July we will all be back to normal and meeting as usual and all the rest of it, I decided to start a club this year just in case we can't. So it's fun. If you go to www.mystampingspot.com and you click on the tab, Christmas Card Club, all the information is there. But essentially you'll get a box of goodies every month, and I will email you the stamp set or sets used, and if you want to add them to your order, we can do that. I'm going to try very hard to make them not stamp set dependent, so that you can work with whatever stamp set you have. So, these, you just need any kind of greeting. And actually, either one of these really could be something other than Christmas. But if you can cancel anytime. It is a subscription. But if you stick it out the 6 months, at the end of 6 months, I'm going to call you and say, yay, thank you for being in my Christmas club. You get $25 worth of free product. What would you like? So that's kind of a fun deal, too. I want to encourage you all to join my newsletter if you haven't already. It's where all the fun stuff happens, including I'm going to try, we're going to play a fun bingo tonight, but it's a different version of bingo. I'm going to try an online bingo, much like my in-person events with lots of giveaways and all that. All that will be in upcoming newsletters. So if you go to, again, www.mystampingspot.com, you can sign up there. I also wanted to tell you, go to YouTube. Oh, I think I started this with go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, search My Stamping Spot, and you can find videos there. Okay, business is out of the way. Let's talk about fun stuff. All right, I am actually taking 2 suites and putting them together. So there is a whole bunch of cards here I'm going to show you. The reason why I'm putting them together is because, in my opinion, they complement so well. So this is the Flowers for Every Season suite. Love it. Love everything about it. This DSP is what I've been using to cut out for the cards you've seen earlier today. There's the stamp set for it, a jar of flowers. This is the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle, which could be free if you decided to join. But I just think this is awesome, and they go so well together. So we are going to kind of demo them together here. I mentioned that my team is Team DSP, and we get together every few months. It's been hard now since we've all been locked down. Last week we had a really fun, great virtual meeting, and I sent big boxes to everybody. This was one of the little gifts I sent them. This is using the Flowers for Every Season DSP, the Sunflower stamp set, and I just filled it with some honey candies. But one of the little perks, it's a little cute idea you can do with this. This is all DSP from the Flowers for Every Season. This was an in-color class I ran. There's the cinnamon cider. There's the Just Jade. And you can see they have the coordinating ribbons. These boxes are getting mailed out tomorrow, so for any of you that have signed up for that, they're all going in the mail tomorrow. They're all packaged up. I just have to address them. Actually, most of them are addressed. This is the Magenta Madness. This is the Bumblebee. It's a great new color. A lot of people have commented that they think it looks like crushed curry. It is actually a little bit different than crushed curry. This is the Misty Moonlight, my favorite. But these are my 2 favorites. I am a blue and a pink girl. So as you can see, it's beautiful. And this DSP is out of this world. These aren't even all the colors. So I just wanted to show you those. And I think we'll save these, and I'm gonna show you something first. So this is a product called a Memories and More card kit. Now, there is something called pocket memory keepers that a lot of people like to do. So they put these little cards in the pockets, pocket pages, and they intermingle them with pictures and whatnot, and they journal in certain spaces. It's a very quick and fast and easy way to scrapbook. That's kind of almost more wintry. This is pretty, isn't it? That blue. Anyway, this card pack also makes really fun, fast cards. So if you don't own a lot to stamp with, and you don't own, a wide variety of cardstock and all the rest of it, or you don't want to, you just want to have some fun playing around for a little while, this is a great alternative. And these are there's just so many options here, so many beautiful things. So what I wanted to show you is, those are the Memories and More cards. If you purchase those, and you purchase a pack of the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More cards and envelopes. Now, these are a little bigger than regular standard cards that we make, but they're all in colors. They're all cut and scored and ready for you to go. And they have the inside liners that coordinate with the cards. And I just pulled out a couple here to show you. So I'm going to take this card base. Now you could hold this way, or you could hold this way. I am choosing to use this beautiful image. I love it. And we're just going to take our little... I think I'm out of tape. Can you believe it? I have to go to snail. I ran out. I've used that thing so much the last 2 days. going to Old Snail, which I don't know if you could see it going on. It makes a nasty noise, and it's patchy compared to the new seal. Anyway, I'm just going to center this onto the card base. How pretty is that? I'm going to take this word celebrate. These stickers come in your Memories and More card kit, and I'm going to put this, let's see, up or down. I think I'll put it up. This may not be straight, I apologize, but I'm at a funny angle. And I'm going to take, you get 2 sheets of each of these. This little bunch of flowers. Now again, these would be great for scrapbooking. I'm just choosing to use them to make these really quick and cute cards. How cute is that? Super simple, right? All right, let's talk this one. Here's another one. Again, I have my Just Jade card base. Now you could add ribbon, you could add bling, you could add all kinds of things, but this is just one of the little cards. And talk to me about how quick and simple and beautiful that is. And then you can just write your nice message inside. So I just wanted to point that out to you because these are very often overlooked in the catalog. And they're just so pretty. All right, we're on to the next pile. Where should we start? Sunflowers or Jar of Seasons? What do you guys think? How about we start with these quick and simple sunflowers? A stack of scrap paper. So this Celebrate Sunflowers is really nice. It's, you know, has a thank you, know you're loved, let's celebrate you. It's all about celebrating someone. And like you know, I store my dies inside. So we're going to start with the simplest of cards. That's this one here. This is just a simple, quick, easy stamping technique. All we're going to need is this big sunflower, this leaf, and thanks a bunch. There we go. Oh, and I forgot an ink that I need. I don't see it here. I can grab it after. Or I can use a marker. I'll show you that after. All right. So I am going to take my big image, put it on a block, and I'm going to get, now you cannot do this with the new blends. You can't do this with blends in general. This can only be done with the Stampin' Write markers. These are watercolor. And we're going to color. I usually start with the lightest color first. You can see it has a fatter brush end and it has a thinner writing end. We're going to use the fatter brush end. And don't use the point. You'll break it down. You want to use the side of it. And we're going to just color. And like I said, just stick to the side so that you don't wear down your tip. Like so. These markers are great. They have a nice fine tip. I have to say, I've been neglecting my Stampin' Writes really up until I designed this card, because I've been in such love with the blends that I kind of have neglected these. But anyway, here's my cider. I'm going to do the inside. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing inside. I'm going to leave a little vanilla ring. I'm using very vanilla cardstock, by the way, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's what this piece is here. And I'm just kind of going around the edge here. Okay, once you've drawn on this, you want to kind of just blow some steam onto it. Not blow on it. We call it huffing it. Heavy breathe onto it. Okay? And then it kind of reactivates and moisturizes it. We're going to just push it down. Voila. This is a cutout from the die. This is scrap from a die that we're going to use later. But I just cut, this is actually so saffron, but you could cut it out in any color. I'm going to use this as a template. And it seems I forgot my Just Jade ink. Let me grab my Just Jade ink. Talk amongst yourself. I'm right here. I didn't go far, I promise. All right, so what we're going to do for this. Now, again, you could use your markers and color with the marker. So if you didn't have all these ink pad colors, or you didn't want to start with ink pads, it's easier to stamp with an ink pad, but you can use a marker and just color this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on a block, and I'm going to kind of find where it lines up. Now, here's my little trick. I noticed that these kind of hook to the right, where some of them kind of point straight out. Right in this patch here, they hook to the right. So if you look for the image that hooks to the right just a little bit, and you line that up, let's see, like that, no, like that, you should be good to go. Dip our ink and stamp one leaf. This is called masking, like that. And there you go. I should have put it up a little bit higher. Well, I'm not going to mess with it. If I were really concerned, this is what I would do. And I would take my fine point. There isn't anything that can't be fixed. I can tell you that. I guess I got lucky with my first one that it came out so clear, huh? Okay, I'm going to close up this Just Jade ink. That's pretty quick and simple, eh? And then we would stamp our greeting, which I'm going to do in cider. This is a beautiful brown. I don't know that it's showing up quite as nice as it is in person. It's a very warm color. What I do, is that straight? All right, that's simple stamping right there. A little bit of masking, but incredibly simple. So this is the one that stamped perfectly for me, ironically enough. This is the one I had a little glitch, but it's hard to really tell the difference because it's easy just to fill it in. All right. Now, let's talk about this card. We're not going to make this card. This is actually a club card this month. So if you are in my Monday, Wednesday, or Friday club, you will be, or you have gotten a kit for this. I love this card. So it's the Bumblebee, and it's the Just Jade, and this is the new Bumblebee, and under it is the So Saffron paper, and this is the new Misty Moonlight. The dies in this set are really just spectacular. This is soft suede there, but you see how detailed that is, and you just cut them out and you overlay one over the other. So that's pretty fantastic if you ask me. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to work on this one. This see, I keep saying my favorite product. You tired of hearing that? This is more expensive, but it's a great big pack of 24 sheets of 12 by 12. It's called In Good Taste Designer Series paper. It's a lot of textures in wood grains. Looks like ceramic almost. This almost looks like a sack. What's that called? That weave. Beautiful dark color. This is it is a brown shade, but it has a little gray to it almost. We're gonna use something that looks very similar to this, but only with a stamp a little later when you come back later. So this is really just a nice set. I'll just skim through the rest real quick. It's all wood texture except for there are a couple of pieces that have this misty moonlight. This is almost like a stucco building. And, you know, I don't know what color this is. I venture to say they probably would say it's on the magenta shade, but I don't know. Let's see if it says on the back of the pack. Did you guys know that on the back of your DSP, it lists the colors right here? Basic gray, gray granite, night and navy. Oh, Rococo rose. That pink is Rococo rose. So it's very, very versatile and very, easy to use. So let's put this card together real quick. I have all my little pieces here. So the first thing I'm going to do with my old snail, because I'll refill the other one before we meet again, I promise. I'm going to make this one a horizontal card. And there we go. Now, I have a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to show you a little technique I have. Remember that sponge we were using earlier for inks? Well, I'm going to cut another little piece, and this one's going to be designated for glue. And anything that's very lacy and intricate like this is a little trick I have. Put a little glue off to the side. And this is just scrap paper. If you have a silicone mat, it works even better because it doesn't stick. But I'm just dabbing just the tiniest bit of glue. I'm not putting a lot. And the heaviest glue I'm putting on the center, and then I'm just going to work it around. And it's okay if you don't have every speck of it covered. It's going to work, I promise. Like that. Put my sponge on top of it. Then I'm going to set this aside so I don't get glue on anything else. I'm going to take an extra piece of scrap. Again, look for those little pieces that are hooked to the right. Remember I was saying you can see it better here. See how these ones are kind of hooked to the right? The rest of them are kind of straight. So if you line up your hook to the right pieces, it's very easy to align. And you see I didn't have these set in any specific way. They really just lend themselves to it very easily. I'm going to take my little brown dot, my seeds, I guess they would be technically. Okay, I'm going to build my leaves. I'm going to set that aside to dry. And I'm going to build my leaves the same way. You know, I just set this down on the glue I was glopping around on, so I'm going to put these to the side. All right, just make sure that you have the right side down, that you know which side is up and which side is down. And when it goes through your embossing machine, your die cutting machine, it kind of has a different texture on one side. It's almost like raised, and this side's flatter. By the way, in the new catalog is the new die cutting machine. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now. It is not yet ready. They warned us that it would not yet be ready. I'm hoping I can find it real quick, but it's not popping up. Oh, there it is right there. But it is coming soon. They've assured us it's coming soon. And I know that a lot of people have been asking and are excited. So not only are we going to have the full-size version, we're also going to have this little mini version, which will be great because you can pack it up and take it with you. Look at how small it is and compact it is. That is awesome for storage. So that'll be coming. Hang on if you're looking for one, because I guarantee you it will be awesome. It's Stampin' Up! Copyrighted, and it's there'll be none other like it on the market. The best thing about Stampin' Up! Is, and when we used to sell the Big Shot, if you bought one at Michael's, they only guaranteed it for a year, and after that you were out of luck. But Stampin' Up! guaranteed that for 3 years. Now, they haven't told us how long they're going to guarantee this new one, but I am certain that they will stand by their product. Because that's just the kind of company they are. Okay, so I have my leaves together. I'm going to just, on the back of this flower, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue like this. Kind of pop my leaves on. I'm going to add a little more glue to overlap it. Like, oh, am I out of view? I'm sorry. Was I just out of view? I'm so used to having everything so close to my face when I do things. This is hard. Anyway, all I did was I added some glue to the yellow and then put the leaf on it. And now I'm going to put the other leaf on it. Like so. I'm going to flip it over and take a look at it. Yep, pretty happy with that. And I'm going to add a little glue to this baby. This is why I'm not a fan of the Tombow glue. I don't want to say I'm not a fan. This is the reason why I don't use the Tombow glue, and I generally prefer to use snail, or now we have this awesome new seal, and that is because I tend to gunk it up. But that's a byproduct of my heavy hand, not product quality. That's what I can say. All right, I'm going to get rid of this little glue sponge thing here before I ruin something. How fast and easy was that? Pretty nice, huh? That's a good looking card right there. You'll notice that I'm not putting sentiments on everything today. And again, I'm using these little gold enamel dots because I love them with my favorite pick tool. I tend to like to leave sentiments off and either put them on right at the end or kind of just leave them almost like a piece of artwork when it doesn't have a sentiment on it. That's the way I look at it. You know, if you put happy birthday on this, someone might leave it up for the week of their birthday, but really this could stay up all summer and all fall if we don't limit it to the birthday. That's why I tend to leave the fronts of my cards without a sentiment. So there's some very quick and easy projects. Now, granted, it's a little quicker for me because I took the time to die cut those flowers. But, I mean, how quick is that? You saw how quick that was. So, and club members, this is one of your club cards this month. Yay! Okay. Hey, you know, I just want to remind you guys before I start with my next projects, look for, if you haven't done it yet, look for the post that has the big graphic of all the jumbled numbers and make sure you pick 5 numbers 1 through 25. Write them in the comments because those will be the numbers that you will play at bingo at 5 o'clock. And I see many of you commenting and loving and liking and all that other good stuff. These are the prizes I'll be drawing for. I underestimated how much time it was going to take me, I think, to add up everybody's multiples of drawing, like how many entries you get. But someone will win Zany Zebras. Someone will win 4 Season Floral. How cute is that little image? And look at this is great for Christmas even. And someone will win Hooray for You. So keep commenting, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. All right. That celebrates sunflowers. That's what we were working on. I love that. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that are signed up for the Christmas club, you know you get checking my 10 entries into those prizes. So, woohoo! Okay. One other thing I wanted to show you, actually, and I shouldn't have put that card away, so now I have to go looking for that card. This punch, you're getting a glare on that. I don't know if you can really see that. I'm going to try to hold it this way to see if we can keep the light from hitting it. This punch has 2 channels, and it punches 3 different sizes on each side. This is at the end of your catalog with the bundles, and I used it to punch this particular end here. So it's very, very versatile. Think Christmas tags, think tags on gift bags, banners for your cards. There's just endless amounts of uses. And of course, you could do it on the other end as well. This is a very nice product. This is all in the same area of the catalog. So I would check that out. Okay, we're going to go to Jar of Flowers. I know you guys have been seeing my videos for Jar of Flowers. If you haven't seen my videos for Jar of Flowers, go to my Stamping Spot YouTube channel. And there's many videos there on how to make shaker cards and all the rest of it. In fact, I'm going to grab those extra cards just to show you guys. Well, I only have a couple sitting here handy. This was one I made on one of the videos. How cute is that? Love those. This is all using this Jar of Flowers set. And this one, it's hard to tell, but instead of having it be a bubble, which makes it a little bit harder to mail, you can still mail it, but it might cost you a little more, and you definitely have to have it hand stamped. This is just using a piece of vellum to make it look liquidy. So if you go to YouTube, you can look those videos up, and I'll give you measurements and all the good stuff. Oh, and look at this is using that same paper, the wood-grained men's type paper. So I love that too. That's all awesome. Okay, so this comes with this nifty punch. There's a better angle of the shape. Oh, maybe that. Okay. This is part of the suite. These are these little domes that make the shaker items. Actually, I gotta pull one out. Alrighty. Remember the Memories of More card pack that we started with? That I made these cards with? There are a lot of uses for those. Namely, this. This is one of those cards. How cute is that? And I chose to cut it down just a little bit. So it's the right width. It's 4 inches wide. But I need to bring it down. I'm just going to move this over to the side here. I need to bring it down to 5 1/4. Do you have the new trimmer? So I guess what you save this. This is a good strip on a card later. This would be pretty, just along a card somewhere later. You know what I'm learning with Stampin' Up? I am not a person that likes change. So we had the same cutter. I've had the same cutter for 10 years, and it was great. And we had a problem getting the blades for it, and it was all part of that Sizzix lawsuit and everything that went on with that. And so they manufactured a new cutter, and it is awesome, I have to say. It's got a nice long big arm. It's over 17 inches. And it has the scoring and the cutting blades, the whole bit. And this is a nice wide base too. And I also like that the old cutter only had 1 inch on this side. This has not quite 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches on this side. It took me a while to get used to this. It's the same problem with my glue. And the same reason why I had trouble with the seal. I go very hard on things. I guess I'm a brute deep down inside because, I don't know, I was pushing so hard that I actually was fraying every edge of every piece of cardstock I cut. And anytime I went to score a piece, I would actually like turn it into a perforation. So if you have the new cutter and you like it and all of that, I love mine now. But it was a learning curve. So if you have the old cutter and you decide to make the change to the new cutter because, you know, we can't get blades anymore, don't be heavy-handed, Kathy. That's my tip for you. Go light-handed. And the same thing with the seal. If you're used to using the snail, light-handed. Light-handed with the glue or else you'll be goopy too. Okay, this one, I wanted this card to stand up. These jar cards, I kind of like them standing as opposed to opening this way. So this one, I cut my cardstock different. This is 11 inches, which is the size of a cardstock. Cut it 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2 inches. So there's my base. Now I've trimmed down my Memories and More card, and I'm going to use my now defunct. Did you just see the way that went on? How that went on? So sketchy and patchy and clingy, and it's just not, it's not the same. I'm telling you, this new stuff is phenomenal. Okay. This does have an up and a down. That would be upside down, clearly. I'm going to put this down. I just questioned myself. We're going to put that down. Okay. Now, that's going to go on top, but we're going to set that aside for a minute, okay? I need some more scrap paper. Here's my scrap. All right, this is the card that's going to be the focal piece. We're going to use the punch, and like always, I turn my punches upside down. And I'm going to center it left to right, and I'm going to punch. Don't throw this away. You're going to need that. Okay, this we can set aside temporarily. So that's going to be set aside temporarily. Now on here, there are some stems. There's clearly a straight edge and then an uneven edge. And there's the jar lid. We're going to go ahead and stamp those right now. This set is almost as well loved. Actually, it might be as well loved as my fern set. Now I'm going to use Memento because I am going to color with blends today. And here's another tip for you. Use a block that's closest in size to your stamp. And you will less likely do the wobble thing. You know the wobble thing? I'm going to take a piece of scrap so you can see what I'm doing here, because I know I'm white on white. This is a piece of scrap that I was cutting the greenery out of for the last section, but that's the flowers for every season. That's part of this bundle too, and I really like this. This was what I used for one of the back fernery green things in my arrangement. Okay, so I'm a stand-up stamper, so I don't know. This is looking low. Well, that's all right. Okay. Now I am going to take my stems and we're going to put them in that jar. Now again, memento, I have to turn this around upside down. I'm sorry, or else I can't see where I'm stamping because I'm a little too far from it. Like so. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Don't sweat the small stuff. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to take my light balmy blue, and I'm not even going to color these stems. I decided some of the other cards you'll see I did color my stems, and maybe I should color these stems, but for some reason I didn't color these stems. So I'm going to just fill this jar with some water. Maybe I'll fill it with more water because I'm not coloring them. Now you'll notice this is my blend. Same thing, it has a brush tip. Don't want to color on the tippy part because you will break down the edge. And then you'll be frustrated that you can't color a fine line. How's that? Not great looking, but we'll make do. Sometimes you just have to improvise. All right, I'm not going to attach this to the card base. I'm going to leave this over here for now. I am going to take this and I am going to, oh, look at that. This is cut wrong. Interesting. Look at that. I have to cut it a little smaller, guys. Hold on one sec. Gotta move that. I am about 1/8 of an inch too much on each side. How big am I? I'm at 3 1/4. I want to be at 3 inches wide. See, even on TV, it's not all magical. Although this is good, because then you get to see that we're all human. And that just because I have everything pre-prepped doesn't mean I don't make plenty of mistakes, because Lord knows I do. I think I'm going to just take it all right off the top here. So this should be, let's see, what is this one? This one is measuring 4 1/4, so I want this one to be right about 4. Okay, and that's crooked, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so again, we're going to take this piece and we're going to put this in here where we want it when we're finished. And boy, this is a hack job, but then we're going to take our little jar and we're going to insert it. It's like putting a piece in a puzzle. Then you're going to take the white piece and pull it up. Ta-da! Okay. Now we're going to take this little doohickey. And these are Flowers for Every Season gems. I love these. And you know, at first I thought, green, I don't know. Why didn't they make them blue for water? But I have to tell you, I do like them. So these are very three-dimensional. I don't know how much of that you can see. Almost very diamond shape like. So they have a lot of great movement when they're all in there together. So as you can see, I piled a bit up there. And I'm pulling off, I do things off the camera. I'm pulling off the label to this side. And I'm going to set that down. And, you know, you get as close to the edge as you can. Like that. Now there's another adhesive here. And what we're going to do, again, my sticky tool, I'm going to pull up this adhesive. Like this. Now watch this. This is beautiful gingham ribbon. This is bumblebee. And I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but it's a beautiful little yellow check ribbon. I'm going to make my bunny ears, excuse all my inky fingers, and then just tie a knot. It's the easiest way I find to do a bow. Like so. And then you make the bow the size you want the bow to be. You'll notice I'm also leaving it on the spool so I don't have a lot of waste. I'm going to cut this off. I'll pretty that bow up after. But here's my trick. Put the bow where you want it to be. Actually, I think I like... I'm going to try to make this piece go in the back. There we go. If you fuss with it enough, you can get the two loopy parts in the front and the two tails in the back. And basically, when I say fuss, I just mean put your fingers in the middle of the bow and twist, and that'll help. So what I'm going to do now is place this where I want the bow to be, and I'm going to stick it to the sticky part of the jar. Then you don't have to worry about adhering the bow to the jar after the fact. It's already on there. It's my little trick. I don't know if anybody else has caught on yet, but I think it's an awesome little trick. It just keeps it so much neater after the fact. And have you ever put a bow on with a glue dot and then you only go back a day or two later and the bow's fallen off and you're like, where's my bow? Okay, now I'm going to take this white jar piece that I didn't do a very good job. It's crooked, but that's what you get. And I'm just putting some adhesive on. I'm going to put this right over the bow. And this is going to sit on there very nicely. Now, if you made the snow globes at Christmas, which are still available, by the way, I have to tell you, there's something about this punch that seems to work a whole lot easier than the snow globes, in my humble opinion. Although I love the snow globes. You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get a little twist on this. I don't like how uneven this is. See, it's because I cut the white piece off. I'm not even going to adhere it on here because I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to redo this later. But this will go on here. And we're going to take our scrap and we are going to stamp our floral image. I'm doing the nice up and down one for some height. The other ones I did were, I did the sunflowers and the roses. They are kind of a little more across. This one I'm doing kind of more up and down. And I'm going to put that on a block. And I don't have a block big enough handy, so if you've ever seen me, you know I do this with these bigger stamps. And, oh, look, I just got too much ink on there. Hold on, gotta wipe that off. And the other thing you'll notice is I don't push in my ink pads. I tend to, just like that, tap. You want to tap, not push. Okay. There we go. Nice clean image. All right. I had the Balmy Blue, which you saw. This is the Dark Highland Heather. This one I used the light Highland Heather. I think I should have grabbed the lighter one. I think I like it better. This is the new Magenta in color, the new Jade in color, the new Misty Moonlight in color, and the new yellow. No, not the new yellow. That's the old Daffodil Delight. So I'm not going to recolor this because it's boring to watch me color. I'm just going to give you a couple pointers. I always start with the lighter of the two colors first. And I go in and I kind of color like this, right? And then what I do is I take the darker image and I kind of choose a side to be like shading. And I go along the bottom and maybe up the top, anywhere where there might be a shadow. Might even bring this in a little bit more, like that, okay? And with the yellows, I'm using the dark Daffodil Delight, so it's a little more vibrant. See all these little individual flowers? Yeah, when I cut them out, I'm cutting them out as a big group. So I kind of go in and get all the white, because then I cut around them. like that, okay? Can you see there? But the other thing I want to tell you is, and I'm using the light Just Jade. When you color, if I were to color this flower magenta and this flower magenta, and I'm not going to shade it, I'm just doing a for instance, right? Like this. And say I did, say I brought this yellow down even, and I did this yellow, okay? Now I have one more magenta flower here. It's a very long explanation of here, what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, when you cut that out, look at all the white in there. So I choose the lighter green. Sometimes I even do a macaron green, and I color it all in, even though the blades of grass are down here. And like that's the supposed stem, that's the supposed stem. I go in and I color that whole thing. Because, see, here's the supposed stem. But I can't stand to have all this be white. So that's my little thing. I must have got yelled at too much in first grade or something for leaving too much white exposed. So through the magic of TV, if this were adhered, then I would take some dimensionals and pop that on there. And voila, we have a finished card. So this is also using the Memories and More cards. This is the Memories and More cards. I mean, so much flexibility here. It's awesome. It's really awesome. And I of course, love this paper. You can make the cutest things. Okay, so what do we have left today? Make sure you keep commenting, liking, sharing, all the rest of it. Thank you to those that have signed up for my Christmas club. I'm very excited that you're excited. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. If you're interested in joining or hosting for that extra $25 in hostess benefits, let me know. Oh, and don't forget to go to mystempingspot.com to get your to join the newsletter. And if you, for every $25 you spend, you will get 5 entries into the drawings for the 3 stamp sets, and I will send you one of these kits as a thank you. And let's see, what do I have left? I have this great demonstration coming up. Oh, where do you see it? Do you like peonies? You guys peony lovers? Who's got peony bushes in their yard? Okay. I don't know how. I forgot to order this set. I had fully intended to order it. I had ordered these beautiful little gems, which will be on their way to some of you for ordering this past week. And I ordered this beautiful paper, but somehow I missed the stamp set and the dies. I can't even believe I did that. But what I'm doing is I am going to be using this one, Flowering Blooms. So we will be looking at this. This is another distinctive stamp, as is the peony. So we'll be looking at this at 3 o'clock. And I also have another one that I'm going to share with you quickly. It's the World Suite. It's pretty awesome, if you ask me. And, you know, try making one of these shaker cards. I'm telling you, they're fun and they're much easier than they look. All right, guys, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Thank you.